All right, welcome back to another great day in the garage. So we are working on the C10 again. Hey, she's sitting here. Working on the C10 again, and today we're going to be adjusting the height. Factory, it sits a little bit stink bug style. So the back's a little bit high, so when you put a load in it, it kind of sits level. And a little bit heavier springs on the back, all that kind of stuff. I am not the type of person to lower a truck. Not my style. But I haven't found anything to be able to lift the front end. I'd rather lift the front than lower the back, but I can't find anything. So we're going to drop the back. We're only going to drop it about 2 inches. Yeah, we're going to drop it about 2 inches in the back to try to get it a little bit leveler. It just looks a little better. I just like the look of it a little better. So, we have 2 ways we can do that. Number one, we can do a different shackle back here. But the problem is that would put my spring, because my bed, the cross member for the bed that goes across here, that would put my spring into the bed. Don't want to do that. So the other option, right here, this bracket on the front of the spring, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up 2 inches. Anyway, so move this bracket here up 2 inches, right? The wheel well here over the tire, it'll drop it down probably 2.5 inches or so, like that, which is pretty close to what I want. It may still sit a little bit like this, but I'm good with that. I want to get it a little bit leveler. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. So these are riveted on. Rivets here, 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 and here. We're going to pop those out and move it up, and I got some bolts, and we're just going to bolt it back together. So here's the question of the day. Comment below if you know why they put 2 in the bottom and 1 in the top. Very good scientific reason. I will explain it at the end of the video. We got all the rivets knocked out of here. Now I gotta put it kind of back where it was and take some measurements before I actually adjust this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring it down 2 inches, 2 inches at the axle. Instead of doing 2 inches up here, I need somewhere I can measure off of. So I'm gonna do 2 inches at the axle. So right now I've got from the top of the axle to the bottom of that bump plate bracket, I got 9.5 inches. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop my punch. I'm going to take my clamp off. No, I'm not. I'm going to get all my stuff out of here. Get a bolt out of there. Oh, my jack's not under it. Turn this around so you can see what I'm doing. Anyway, pull the clamp off. That clamp's not on. Alright, then what we're going to do, we're going to raise this up. I can figure out how to hold my tape measure. We're going to raise it up to 7.5. Yep. Measuring there, I gotta go up just a little bit right there. Okay, we're at 7.5 now. So that's approximately where that's gonna go. Odd. Oh, because I gotta bend that forward. It's gotta come forward a little bit because I want to stay within the same, basically the same V here. So just be straight up a little bit. Right now I'm too far back. So I'm gonna take ratchet strap. I'm gonna go from hole somewhere. No, that'll work. Go from there. We're gonna go back here to the shackle. Start moving that forward. One of the things I have to be super careful about is getting this axle in here straight, because if I don't get these in exactly the same spot from side to side, it's going to be misaligned in the rear, which we don't want. I didn't think that through. Figure it out, right? We will figure it out. Technically that should come forward more. Why is it not wanting to go forward? Because that side's still hooked up. One more on that. That's about as tight as I want to get that. All right, I'll come back to this. I gotta figure this out. This ain't right. Because I'm off the... I gotta get the other side cut off before I can do anything on this side. That's what I gotta do. Alright, I was hoping to cheat a little bit, but I can't. Like that. We're gonna drop this down. Alright, so I got it figured out. I got all the rivets knocked out of it, and challenge that I'm having is figuring out how to keep the axle straight. Because if one of these is further forward than the other one, then the whole truck's just gonna drive terrible. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually reuse one side of the holes, and then show you here what I did. I'm gonna get this camera up. Nice work. So, what I did is I took a piece of tape, put on there so I can actually have a line. I marked the old holes here, and then I drew a center line. Used my square, went center line down through all the holes, and then I just drew that line. You can see it there. All the way down, and I measured 2 inches, center of the hole down 2 inches. So each hole is moving down exactly 2 inches. And so I'm gonna drill these out, pre-drill them, just started pre-drilling them. Pre-drill them 3/16, and then I'll punch them out to 1/2 inch. This is the hole I already punched, so this hole will line up perfectly with that hole there. So I'll do that on this side, get them all exactly perfect, and then I'll do it on the other side just for good measure. Anyway, let's see if this will work. All right, so I'm gonna do that on this side, just on the rear holes on both sides. That way we're still using the exact same holes in the frame, so that'll keep the axle exactly straight, right where it needed to be before. We'll just be moving it up. It'll end up moving it back just a smidgen, but I think we're still in good shape to do this. So that's what we're gonna do. I kind of had it lined up. If I spin that over there, it kind of lines up already. Keeps it parallel with the other one. So it's gonna work out real nice. Working out really, really nice. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm gonna punch these out and show you how it turns out. Okay, we got 3 of them punched out. We're gonna test this thing to make sure these bolts are gonna line up and see how much the drop is and everything like that before we drill all 12 holes. So, got it up here. Should be able to just drop the axle down a little bit. Somewhere right there. The top hole. There's one. Got some more bolts. I'm gonna run a temporary nut on here for now, just to keep things from falling apart. And I really hope I didn't buy too short of bolts. It's kind of looking that way. Okay. I'm gonna have to run the drill through that one. Shouldn't be too short. There it is. That's 2. So we got 2 lined up. Show you here in just a second. All right, this camera flops a little bit so you can see something. All right, there we go. So I got 2 in there, they lined up. Still got to punch the bottom hole out. And let's see what we did for measurement here on the axle, how much it dropped that. 1.5 inches. Why did I get more out of it? Went from 9.5 to 8. So I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. That gives me 1.5 inches of drop in the back. That'll help level this thing, and I think it'll look fantastic. So what's left to go is to drill, 9 more holes? Yeah, drill 9 more holes and bolt it up. So that's what I'm gonna do. And for you, it doesn't take any time, just like that. Anyway, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, it's all back together now. I got the rest of the holes drilled. I got them bolted. I splashed some paint on there just because at some point I'm going to paint the whole frame. And I figured while I have those off, I might as well just run the wire wheel and paint behind them. So I dropped it about 1.5 inches. I measured that before. Where we're at, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Now, I think explain why they put 2 bolts on the bottom of this thing and why the science behind that. So, let's set this camera about right there. Okay, so this is why they put the 2 bolts at the bottom, well, 4 bolts, 2 on the front, 2 on the back, instead of like even along. So the one at the top just kind of holds it a little bit in place. When I put pressure up here, which is what the spring does. It puts pressure up right here. This bracket So these bolts here are loaded in shear. So they're trying to shear them off. And these ones on the bottom are actually loaded in tension. So it's trying to twist this bracket this way because I have whatever force is applied here by whatever distance here. That's the torque. Every time you hit a bump and stuff, the force times the distance, you're putting a torque, and you're actually loading these two bolts in tension. So you're trying to pull them apart. So they put two of them at the bottom to have enough strength there for that tensile strength. So they're both in shear, going this way, and they're in tension. This top one, because if you push up on the bottom, it's going to turn this. This top one's actually, it'd be in compression, but you're not really loading the bolt in the compression because this is touching the frame. It's in shear because the other force on it is the shear force from the bracket trying to slide on the frame. That's why they put two bolts in the bottom. Let me know if you got it right in the comments. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.